The sky was clear, an endless expanse of blue stretching from horizon to horizon. Not a single cloud marred its perfection, and the air was still, as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The sun beat down mercilessly on the dusty road below, its rays turning the earth into a shimmering golden furnace. The heat was relentless, baking the ground and casting long, wavering shadows across the ancient path. Every step kicked up tiny clouds of dust, swirling in the oppressive light. Along this road, a solemn procession moved with deliberate care. Men dressed in ancient robes, their faces etched with reverence and perhaps a hint of fear, carried a sacred object. Their hands trembled slightly, not from exhaustion, but from the weight of responsibility and the knowledge that what they bore was no ordinary artifact. Each step was measured, each glance exchanged heavy with unspoken meaning. Suddenly, without warning, the earth itself seemed to tremble beneath their feet. The ground shuddered, sending ripples through the dust and pebbles, as if some unseen force was stirring deep below the surface. The air grew thick with tension, and a sense of impending doom settled over the procession. Then, in an instant, a blinding flash of light split the sky. It was as if the heavens themselves had been torn open by an invisible hand. The bolt of lightning was impossibly bright, searing the eyes of all who witnessed it, and for a heartbeat, time seemed to stand still. When the dust finally settled, the scene had changed forever. One man lay lifeless on the ground, his body sprawled across the sun-baked earth. His face was frozen in a mask of terror, eyes wide open as if still staring into the blinding light that had claimed him. The others stood in stunned silence, unable to comprehend what had just occurred. What had he done to deserve such a fate? What unspeakable act could have provoked the wrath of the heavens so suddenly and so violently? The questions hung in the air, unspoken but heavy, as the survivors looked to one another for answers that would not come. Was this a random act of nature, a freak accident that defied explanation? Or was there something far more sinister at work, a force beyond human understanding that had chosen this moment to make itself known? The sky, once clear, now seemed to darken with ominous clouds, as if echoing the uncertainty and fear gripping those below. Was this the chilling touch of divine judgment, a warning sent from above to remind mortals of their place in the grand scheme of things? The idea sent a shiver down their spines, for if the gods could strike without warning, what hope did any of them have? These are the questions that have haunted humanity for centuries. Across cultures and generations, people have looked to the skies in fear and awe, searching for meaning in the chaos, wondering if their actions might one day bring about such wrath. Stories of divine retribution echo through our myths and legends, passed down from one generation to the next. They serve as stark reminders of the power that lies beyond our understanding, and the fragile line that separates the mortal from the divine. In ancient temples, by flickering candlelight, these tales were whispered, warning all who would listen of the consequences of hubris and disobedience. If these tales hold even a grain of truth, what does it mean for us today? Are we still at the mercy of forces we cannot see or comprehend? Or have we simply forgotten the lessons of those who came before, dismissing their warnings as mere superstition? Join me if you dare, as we delve deeper into the mysteries of those struck down by God. Together we will explore the stories, the evidence, and the lingering questions that continue to fascinate and terrify us to this day. The answers may be closer than you think, or far more elusive than you ever imagined. Our journey begins with a tale as old as time itself, echoing through the windswept sands of forgotten deserts and whispered in the crumbling ruins of civilizations long past. This is not merely a story, but a legend that has endured for millennia, captivating the hearts and minds of all who hear it. It is a story found in the sacred texts, inscribed in ink faded by centuries, a cautionary narrative that has sent shivers down the spines of believers and skeptics alike. Passed down from generation to generation, it is a tale that warns of the dangers that lie hidden within the mysteries of the divine. At the heart of this enigma lies an object of immense power and reverence, the Ark of the Covenant. For the ancient Israelites, the Ark was not just a symbol, but the very embodiment of their faith, a sacred vessel that accompanied them through trials and triumphs alike. The Ark, as it is known, was more than just a gilded chest. Crafted from acacia wood and overlaid with pure gold, it was believed to be the dwelling place of God himself, a conduit to the divine. Its presence inspired awe and fear in equal measure, for it was said to hold the very tablets of the law, inscribed by the hand of the Almighty. To approach the ark was to stand on the threshold between the mortal and the eternal. To touch it was to invite unimaginable power, but also unimaginable peril. Legends tell of miracles and victories, but also of devastation for those who dared to treat the ark with anything less than the utmost reverence. The ark was shrouded in mystery, its power both a blessing and a curse. Even the priests who served in its presence did so with trembling hands, aware that a single misstep could bring about disaster. And no story illustrates this danger better than the tragic fate of Uzzah. As the ark was being transported, Uzzah reached out to steady it when the oxen stumbled, a seemingly innocent act. Yet, in that moment, he was struck down by a force beyond comprehension, a stark reminder of the ark's untouchable sanctity. The people who witnessed this event were left in shock and terror, their faces illuminated by the flickering light of torches, forever changed by the sight of divine judgment. Uzzah's story serves as a chilling reminder that the realms of the sacred are not to be trifled with, and that even the purest intentions can lead to dire consequences when the boundaries of the holy are crossed. It is a tale that speaks of the fine line between reverence and transgression, and the terrible price that can be paid for crossing it. The ark and the agony it brought remain a powerful symbol, a warning etched into the annals of history, urging us to approach the mysteries of the sacred with humility, awe, and respect. Uzzah's story is not merely an ancient fable. It is a potent symbol of the awe-inspiring and often fearsome power attributed to the divine. This belief in divine judgment, in the swift and merciless hand of God striking down those who transgress his laws, reverberates through history. But what if these stories are more than just ancient warnings? What if they reflect a reality that is as relevant today as it was millennia ago? Our exploration will venture beyond the confines of Scripture. We will examine modern-day accounts, chilling echoes of the past, that suggest the possibility of divine retribution is not merely the stuff of legends. Prepare yourself. What you are about to encounter may shake the very foundations of your beliefs. The children of Israel, newly freed from slavery in Egypt, carried the ark with them on their long journey towards the Promised Land. It was a symbol of their covenant with God, a sacred object to be revered and protected. One day, as the oxen pulling the cart stumbled, the ark tilted precariously. Uzzah, a man of good intentions, instinctively reached out to steady it. And then it happened. The sky crackled with energy. A blinding light engulfed Uzzah. When the light subsided, he lay dead beside the ark, his life extinguished in an instant. The people were horrified. How could a simple act of reverence be met with such brutal finality? The story of Uzzah sent shockwaves through the Israelites. It was a stark reminder that the divine, while a source of love and protection, was also a force of immense and honestly unpredictable power. To approach the sacred without the utmost reverence was to court disaster. Even King David, chosen by God to lead his people, was shaken to his core. He questioned the motives of a God who would punish a well-intentioned act with such severity. But the message was clear. The ark, and by extension the presence of God, was not to be treated casually. It demanded respect, awe, and a profound understanding of its sanctity. Uzzah, in that single fateful act, became a tragic lesson for all who dared to approach the divine. As centuries passed, the ark was lost to history, its fate a subject of endless speculation. Yet the story of Uzzah lived on, a chilling reminder of the potential consequences of disrespecting the sacred. Then, in the late 20th century, a story emerged from the heart of Africa that seemed to echo the tragic fate of Uzzah. In a small village in Nigeria, a man claimed to have discovered the Ark of the Covenant hidden away in a dusty basement. Driven by faith and perhaps, a touch of reckless curiosity, he reached out to touch the artifact. Days later, he was dead. The villagers whispered of a curse, of the wrath of God unleashed once more. Coincidence? Divine retribution? Or simply the stuff of legend? The Nigerian incident, though shrouded in rumor and speculation, sent ripples of unease through religious communities worldwide. It was as if the ancient curse surrounding the ark had resurfaced, crossing the chasm of time to claim another victim. The The parallels between the two events were, honestly, pretty eerie. Both involved individuals driven by faith, yet seemingly punished for their actions. Both involved the Ark, an object of immense power and reverence, shrouded in mystery and danger. Were these events merely coincidences, or did they point to a deeper, more unsettling truth? Could it be that certain ancient warnings, passed down through generations, were not merely stories, but echoes of a reality that transcends our understanding? The stories of Uzzah and the Nigerian man, separated by millennia yet bound by a common thread, raise unsettling questions about the nature of faith, the limits of human understanding, and the potential consequences of seeking knowledge that is perhaps best left undisturbed. Are there certain mysteries that humanity is not meant to unravel? Are there boundaries, both physical and spiritual, that we cross at our peril? The Ark of the Covenant, whether a real artifact or a potent symbol, represents the intersection of the sacred and the mundane. It serves as a reminder that some things, some powers, are beyond our comprehension and control. The quest to understand the unknown is woven into the very fabric of human nature. Since the dawn of time, we have looked up at the stars, peered into the depths of the oceans, and wondered what lies beyond the next horizon. This relentless pursuit of answers is what has driven our greatest discoveries, and yet it is also what has led us to the edge of our own understanding, where the shadows grow long and certainty fades away. We are driven by curiosity, by a thirst for knowledge that compels us to explore, to question, to push the boundaries of what we believe to be true. It is this insatiable hunger for truth that has built civilizations, inspired legends, and fueled the greatest minds in history. But with every answer we uncover, new questions emerge, and the horizon of the unknown only seems to stretch further away. Yet, the stories we have explored suggest that there may be limits to what we are meant to know. Some knowledge comes at a price, and some truths, once revealed, cannot be forgotten or undone. The line between wisdom and hubris is thin, and history is filled with cautionary tales of those who dared to cross it. Perhaps there are some mysteries that are best left unsolved, some doors that are better left unopened. The allure of the forbidden has always tempted us, but sometimes restraint is the greatest wisdom of all. What lies behind these doors may not be meant for human eyes, and the consequences of our curiosity can echo through generations. As you reflect on the chilling story of Uzzah and the eerie echoes of his fate in the modern world, ask yourself this: what are the boundaries of human understanding? Are there realms of knowledge that should remain untouched, not out of fear, but out of respect for forces beyond our comprehension? Are some truths too dangerous to uncover? Is the pursuit of every secret worth the risk? Or do some answers carry a weight too heavy for us to bear? In our search for meaning, we must also consider the cost of what we seek to know. Are some mysteries better left unexplored? Sometimes the greatest act of courage is to walk away, to accept that not all questions demand answers and that some enigmas are sacred, protected by the very darkness that surrounds them. The answers, like the whispers of the divine, may be closer than you think. They linger in the silence, in the spaces between what is known and what is unknowable, waiting for those who are willing to listen and to heed their warning.